Awesome. Thank you, Joyce. Now we know what she did for, what, 8-10 hours yesterday when you were waiting for you to see. This woman has not slept. Give her a round of applause. She's amazing. She's amazing. Our next guest is with the U.S. Digital Services Service, Eric Maland, and he's also an outfitter and hiking guide, and helped run infrastructure, IT infrastructure for the Amazon in the early days, we hear. Eric.
Hi, so I'm Eric. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, I'm Eric Maland with the U.S. Digital Service. I'm not nearly as motivational as that, sorry. I've been here since November working on healthcare.gov, which is its own little monster. If you want some horror stories, come find me that. I'm going to give you a little background on me and how I got here and why this group is important to me. I worked at Amazon very early on, 97 to 01. It was the burnout years, and when I was done, I was like, I'm done with tech, no more. So I went and got healthy, I got fit, went and traveled, and I came home to Seattle, and I was like, this is beautiful. I had been traveling and paying people to take me up mountains, glaciers, through parks, and I was like, oh, I can go home and do this. So I did. I went home and started an outfitting business, and did that for 2 seasons, and that was awesome, but I realized I have all these technical skills, and I can use these to, improve the world still. So I went to Google, which I thought was meaningful, and it was, so it lasted. After I left that, I did a bunch of iPhone development and started working with the city and the open data that they had for transit and buses and stuff. And that was super fun. And then I got interrupted by Twitter, which was down all the time. So they called me and they were like, come fix this. So I did, and did that for a couple of years. I quit that and went back to Seattle and took a couple of years off. Twitter was another burnout. And at the end of my break, I started working with the Washington Trails Association on their iPhone apps and trying to crowdsource data, trail conditions, where there's washouts after the spring, rush, where bridges are out, where species are during certain times of year, what's in bloom, like where trilliums and columbines are, all that kind of stuff. It was super fun. And then I got rudely interrupted again by the White House. So the story most recently has been working on not rescuing healthcare.gov, but fixing it. And the one thing I want to highlight from that is relevant to this group is we launched a couple small projects that don't look significant in the small picture, but they're hugely important. So there's one system that was involved in 70% of the downtime last year for healthcare.gov. And this year, a small group of contractors, maybe 8 people, I think, who have very modern, agile skill sets, understood the problem, came in, rewrote a system, fixed it, deployed it, saved us. The previous system cost $200 million to build. This one cost $4 million to build. The previous system cost $70 million a year to operate. This one cost $4 million to operate. 8 people wrote this. The previous system, there's about 50 human beings working on it. So like, bringing your skill set into government and engaging, especially with open data, can make a huge difference, not just financially, but culturally. And that's the shift that needs to happen. So it's awesome to see you guys here. So, and I'll be around all day if you